Radio D Hotties, powered by Mahima Creations.
जब हमारे परिवार के बुजुर्गों की सेहत और देखभाल की बात होती है तो घर पर इन होम केयर वाला ऑप्शन सबसे बढ़िया है। अनलॉक का पेस प्रोग्राम एक ऐसा कन्वीनियंट एंड पर्सनलाइज्ड ऑप्शन है जिसके जरिए हमारे बुजुर्ग घर पर हमारे साथ रहकर यही देखभाल और सेवा का लाभ उठा सकते हैं। अब चाहे वो घर पर रहे या अनलॉक वाले पेस सेंटर में आए, उनको वही डेडिकेटेड एंड प्रोफेशनल केयर मिलेगी। अनलॉक ने बुजुर्गों की सेहत को अपना प्रायोरिटी बना लिया है। और जानने के लिए 1855-308-0195 पे कॉल करें। That's 1855-308-0195. After months of screen time and no play dates, the Children's Discovery Museum is open for Purple Play Days of Summer. It's time to rediscover the wonder. Climb on the fire engine, splash around in the waterworks, blow bubbles, and scale the tree climber in Bill's backyard. Oodles of hands-on arts and culture, STEM, health, and nature-themed exhibits await your family. The Giant Purple Museum is open every day, Wednesday through Sunday. Reservations are required at cdm.org. That's cdm.org.
Top of the morning, Bay, with Good Morning Bay.
Get to know about the traffic on your way and what's news around the world today.
Some wisdom skills along the way.
Oh, and a song to hum along with and sway.
Get your perfect entertaining start to the day.
At 9 a.m. every weekday morning with
Mahima's
Good Morning Bay.
Good morning,
Bay.
आज भी लोग हमारी तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते,
नमस्कार,
वनकम,
नमस्कार,
खुशामदीद,
अस्सलाम वालेकुम,
सत श्री अकाल,
मेघांतरिकी वंदनमु,
जय स्वामी नारायण,
जय श्री कृष्ण,
जय जनिंद्र।
हमारे इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोलते या अली मदद,
मोला अली मदद बोलते हैं। सारी फीजिए मन बोलेंगे नी सांबला बंदजान। हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारे। मैं से फालतू बाबा
and of course myself फालतू रानी लेकर आपके लिए one more fantastic Friday that's gonna make your weekend, your long weekend, hopefully totally exciting and totally मस्तानी बन जानी।
एंड ऑफ कोर्स लॉन्ग वीकेंड कह के आप लोग इधर उधर न भागेगा, बिकॉज लेक टाहो में तो आपको मालूम है साउथ लेक टाहो टोटली बर्न, इंक्लूडिंग ट्रकर रिवर बंदजान। वहाँ पे एरिया में काफ़ी सारे फायर एवैक्यूएशन चल रही है। And probably you might want to stay towards this side. I would say go towards the coast probably if you want a holiday over the weekend. But अभी के लिए stay safe, very important बंदजान। A quick look at what's happening on the roads. रस्ते का हाल आपके देंगे हम लोग टोटल सस्ते में।
It's time for the Bandu traffic update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
Again, the number we give out for you to give us a call here because it's called a Bandhu traffic. अगर आप सोच रहे हैं कि आप जहाँ पे ड्राइव कर रहे हो and you actually see there's a little bit of traffic congestion there, share that with the Bandhus around and so they also can actually probably take an auto to now and give thanks to you, Banjan. So you earn those good karma points for yourself. Speaking of accidents, Banjan, 87, there's actually an accident with injuries. Northbound entering Curtin Avenue in San Jose, and it doesn't seem to be impacting traffic. CHP is on the scene, trying to clear it for you guys. And somewhere in that region, Jan 17 northbound, north of Alma Bridge Road, in Los Gatos, there actually is a disabled tractor trailer, and CHP is on the scene to tow it out, I suppose, but I don't see impact on traffic as well, so hang in there, right? And of course, an accident with debris on the road, Banajana 101 northbound, south of Oakland Road in San Jose. The right lane has debris, so watch out for that. Drive very, very carefully. Speaking of debris and how dangerous they are, Banajana, a couple of days I actually came, I think last week, there was some really, on 680 actually. It's very dangerous. People will not see the debris. So they would have flown off with some other cars and everything. You've got to be mindful and talk about debris. But then definitely please be careful when you're driving in that region. Let's go north. Up north, there actually is a report of a hazard on 101 southbound exiting at Cesar Chavez Street in San Francisco. The off-ramp is actually affected there, so watch out for that. Traffic has a report on 580 eastbound west of 90th Avenue in Oakland, and something which actually is disrupting traffic or keeping traffic really Actually, the accident out there on 80 westbound, west of 580, which is totally slowing down traffic in that region. Pretty much almost, I see a huge backlog over there. So probably if you're coming from Oakland, from Berkeley towards San Francisco, you will face that particular traffic. So that's what the traffic update, what's happening in the Bay Area. But if at all you want to share traffic of wherever you are, you can actually call up and share with us. You can ask us also. Just message us through the app, which is available free download on Android and also on the iOS platform. And that was the traffic update. A quick look at what's happening with the news for you guys. So we head towards news desk of Media Mahima. So Fadri, take it away.
Well, Banijan, let's tell you what's going on with Hurricane Ida. Communities are mourning and trying to clean up after floodwaters turned highways and homes into death traps in the Northeast. The remnants of Hurricane Ida pummeled cities with unprecedented rainfall in some areas, leaving at least 46 people dead in about 6 states. The victims included a Connecticut state trooper who was swept away as he responded to a missing persons call. Most of the deaths were in New Jersey, where Governor Phil Murphy said a majority of victims were overtaken by rising floodwaters while still in their vehicles. In New York City, a lot of people who died were found in the basements. Meanwhile, communities in Louisiana where the hurricane made landfall have no power and are struggling with severe fuel shortage. President Joe Biden is going to be visiting the state today to survey storm damage and meet with local state officials. And what is President Biden also going to be doing at that particular area is that he's going to be meeting with Louisiana Governor John Bell Edwards and local officials about the hurricane, which is providing the president with a tough test just after the chaotic withdrawal of U.S. forces from Afghanistan. For those of you who are not familiar with the matter, Hurricane Ida struck the Gulf Coast last weekend and carved a northern path through the eastern United States, culminating in torrential rains and widespread flooding in New York, New Jersey, and surrounding areas on Wednesday. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy had said that the state even confirmed 2 more additional deaths overnight, bringing its total to 25 in New Jersey itself. He said at least 6 people were still missing, and he expects the death toll to climb higher. New York and New Jersey governors are saying that aid is coming as the death toll is rising. They did say that they are expecting to receive a significant funding and assistance from the federal government after the flash flooding from Hurricane Ida left a trail of destruction, killing at least 46 people in the northeast. Also, Banijan, in news about the COVID-19 infections here, which is kind of soaring in the United States, let's tell you how the economy is doing. The U.S. economy created the fewest jobs in the past 7 months in August as hiring in the leisure and hospitality sector stalled amid a resurgence in COVID-19 infections, which weighed on demand at restaurants and other food places. But other details of the Labor Department's closely watched employment report on Friday were fairly strong, with the unemployment rate falling to a 17-month low of 5.2% and July job growth revised sharply higher. Wages increased a solid 0.6% and fewer people were experiencing long spells unemployment. In local news, Panajan, of course, all of us are aware of the horrendous Caldor fire. Let's tell you that firefighters have been battling California's massive Caldor fire and are facing the likelihood of more blazes in the upcoming weeks. The severe drought suffocating parts of the American West is leading to water shortages, creating the ideal environment for wildfires to spark rapidly. In addition to the blazes, firefighters are facing exhaustion and also COVID-19 infections in an extended fire season that shows no sign of slowing down. California's fires have been unrelenting this year, torching more than 3 times the land burned in the state during the same time span last year. More than 15,000 firefighters are on the front lines of California's 16 active large wildfires. Firefighters are getting tired and they're getting drained, a Cal Fire spokesperson Dave Lochner said. In other local news, Panajan, There was an outage of a network in San Francisco, and this morning, this outage has been affecting 911, 311, and other city services. The city's 911 call taking capacity is limited, and city agencies are investigating what is the reason for the outage and trying to fix it, the city said in an alert shortly before 8:30 a.m. We don't have any further news in that regard. We will bring that to you right here on Radio Hotties when we do receive an update. A preliminary 2.5 magnitude earthquake struck Friday morning in the East Bay, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. The quake centered about 13 miles south of Livermore, hit at 7:36 a.m. And for those of you who like to go hiking and are on trails, Manijan, let's tell you, please be careful when you're out hiking by yourself. A Sunnyvale woman was attacked Wednesday afternoon by two suspects while walking on the Stevens Creek Trail, police have said. Officers responded at about 1 p.m. and the woman told them that the attack happened about 15 minutes earlier while she was walking along the trail between Creekside Park and Central Expressway. Two men came out of the bushes and tried to grab her, but she screamed and fought back, she told the police. At one point, one of the attackers tried to pull her pants down, but she was able to run away and call police from a safe location, Mountain Police said. Police have been searching the area, but the suspects have not yet been found. So please be careful when you're out there. I know many of us go out hiking and, go out on trails. So please go in groups if possible and stay close. Some of these trails don't have cell service. It dies out over there. So please be careful. It's extremely important. Those are the news from across the United States and locally here in the Bay Area. Do we want to do a Kaneka Kira before we do the world news, Altababa?
Well, we can actually jump into that, but let me tell you one thing. You're going to search oh my god, this is interesting. I want to get more information. Well, you can go check it out on the news blog, mediamahima.com for sure. We're going to be having a new look for everything. In fact, our Radio Hotties app also is going to have a revamping of the layout part of it. You can check it out. It's still going to be the way we've always envisioned to be, something which is portable, something which is available for you guys anywhere and everywhere, not heavy on your data consumption. That's one thing we're very mindful of, Banjan. It actually is the most, I think we should have submitted for one of the most slimmest app ever. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think because we don't use so much of data. We're very, we don't actually go into all the shebangs now, Banjan. No, we're not funded by, corporate.
Yes.
We have our own,
organic furniture pocket funding. We do it ourselves. And it's all homegrown, Birjan.
It's all homegrown, yes. And of course, if you want to actually make some change, if you want to see changes in that, you can make it yourself and send it to us also. And we'll be happy to upload over there for sure.
Yeah.
Right now, a quick look at the world. And before we sign off with the Ghanan Kira, but right now, Fadwani, go take it away.
Taliban co-founder Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar is going to lead the new Afghan government, set to be announced soon, sources in the group said on Friday, as its fighters battled forces loyal to the vanquished republic in the Panjshir Valley north of Kabul. But the new government's most immediate priority may be to avert the collapse of an economy grappling with drought and ravages of a 20-year conflict that killed nearly 240,000 Afghans before U.S. forces completed a tumultuous pullout on August 30th. In other news, with regard to the Taliban, Manajan, India and the United States are both waiting and watching. This is the approach they're taking to Taliban 2.0. Talks between the United States and India this week centering on salvaging the foreign policy wreckage in Afghanistan following the collapse of the Ashraf Ghani government backed by them have yielded no immediate substantial results aside from a cautious wait-and-watch approach towards the new Taliban dispensation in Kabul. Beneath bland statements from both officials on both sides that their discussions touched on bilateral ties and the situation in Afghanistan lie efforts at coordinating a response to ensure that they are able to rescue hundreds of their nationals and their Afghan allies still stranded in Afghanistan while maintaining some equity with the new regime in Kabul, which is already signaling an alignment with the China, Pakistan axis. India's Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla met his US counterpart Under Secretary of State Wendy Sherman and later called on Secretary of State Antony Blinken on Thursday to exchange notes on the preliminary outreach towards the Taliban 2.0 regime amid small encouraging signs that could be a more reasonable avatar of the original. There is a detailed story, Banajan, where they are talking about how Pakistan has kept the Taliban alive till their time came to take over and, to form government, is what they're saying. There is a big story there with regard to a detailed analysis that Times of India has done with regard to this particular story, Banajan. And if you want to read up on it, we will share it on mediamahima.com. While we're talking about the China-Pakistan axis that the Taliban 2.0 is leaning towards, China is eyeing a belt and road extension into Taliban-ruled Afghanistan, raising concerns for India. As the Taliban inch closer to forming the government in Afghanistan, China is seeing an opportunity to extend its multi-billion-dollar Belt and Road Initiative, which it calls BRI, projects into the country. In an overt display of mutual bonhomie, China on Friday said that the Taliban leaders support the BRI and believe that the projects are good for the development and prosperity in the war-torn nation. The Taliban, meanwhile, described China as their most important partner and said that Beijing is ready to invest and rebuild the country. So this is obviously of concern to both the United States and to India. And in other news from India, Banajan, Kerala and Maharashtra, even though they're seeing an uptick in COVID cases, they are not going to be imposing a complete lockdown, is what they're saying. The Supreme Court has put an interim stay on holding physical exams for 11th standard in Kerala, observing that the COVID situation in the state is still alarming, but the state, along with Maharashtra, has ruled out reimposing a complete lockdown to curb the COVID spread.
You know what's really interesting over here, Banujan, you've not seen it. ABCT, I'll tell you about this, Banujan, because look at the hypocrisy of Taliban. It's totally hypocrisy. You know why? They are siding with an organization or a group which is China, which is totally against people who follow Islam.
Correct.
And how they have prosecuted people, Uyghur Muslims, right?
Yeah.
And see how, it's a whole thing, right? They form because of ideology, and then finally ideology is lost when they actually take this political stance.
Correct.
Right? Anyway, that's one thing. And also the fact that, somebody talked about yesterday.
What?
Afghanistan is actually having another pandemic going on in them.
Oh.
Yeah, it's called yellow fever.
Oh, God. Anyway, there's some news about, this is a much-awaited movie of Kangana Ranaut called Talaivi, which features the biopic of Jayalalitha, right? She has hit yet another
controversy.
Roadblock.
Oh, really?
So she's heartbroken as multiplex chains are now refusing to screen Talaivi. And she's actually reaching out to them saying, let's help each other, not bully. And what has happened is the producers of Talaivi are at loggerheads with national multiplexes over the time gap between the release of the film in theatres and on OTT platforms. But producer Vishnuvardhan Induri says this happens, we're still negotiating with them, but we also have to make sure that we recover our investment. The theatre owner should support us because we're taking the risk of releasing the film in theatres despite the fact that as producers we've got returns from non-theatrical platforms. But what is happening is apparently 3 national multiplex chains decided not to accommodate the film releasing in theatres on 10th September. To this, Kangana took to her Instagram handle and shared a message for these multiplex owners requesting to help each other during testing time. She said, no films are choosing theatres. Very few and very brave producers like my producer Vishnu Induri and Shailesh Singh are compromising on huge profits and letting go of exclusive streaming options only for the love of cinema. So this is another news item that's coming out of India. And of course, another landmark decision, a mobile phone and broadband services that were snapped following the demise of former Hurriyat leader Syed Ali Shah Gilani on September 1st will be restored on Friday, Kashmir Zone Inspector General of Police Vijay Kumar has currently said.
Well, this particular case, what she's fighting is nothing new, by the way.
Oh, really?
It's something similar happened with Scarlett Johansson, you know that?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Black Widow.
Black Widow.
Yeah.
Well, Black Widow thing, she's suing Disney, but Disney fired back at her. But the thing is, she sued Disney on the thing of something called a same day something. It's called something like
Yeah. Same day release or something, right?
It's called something because they open it on OTT platform and the theater at the same time.
Right.
And they lost money.
Well, yeah, because there's something else, Altu Baba. I don't know if you read that report or you heard it. This is with regard to the contracts for artists, right? Apparently, when they sign a major actor like Scarlett Johansson for a role, a lot of their monies are tied into the profits the movie is making from the theaters.
Not OTT is a new model, so they don't have
Yeah, so her contract was pre-pandemic, right? So this movie was supposed to be released pre-pandemic. So at that point, they did not take into consideration the OTT release monies. So they actually took into consideration only the fact that it was the old contract based on, even now they've not changed it. The artists get remunerated based on the profits that are coming in from the movie theaters or the distributors, exhibitors. So Scarlett Johansson is saying that obviously you released it on OTT, I am not going to make as much money. So you need to compensate me for that, or you need to pull the, whatever. That's the lawsuit. I don't know what this. Do you have an update on that? What's going on?
Well, they just moved to void it. Yeah, Disney is a huge thing. They have an army of lawyers working towards it, and they're totally voiding it. So, in other words, it's still there, but they're not gonna. They'll fire more. They fired back saying that hey, that's different. It's different. You would have anyway earned only so much in the theaters, but we actually have this much already set aside for you.
Wow.
So what's going to happen? We don't know. They already have killed off the character of Scarlett Johansson some time ago.
Yeah.
Could be the fact that Scarlett Johansson is trying to find the last grips on them because she knows her character is no longer be available now.
Oh, really?
That's done. When Black Widow died in the series. Even if now it happens, it's going to be backstories, and the backstory nobody's interested in now anymore.
Oh.
So the new person, the sister role, the person who plays sister role, she's going to have her own series right now next.
Oh God.
Yeah,
that
Disney is
terrible.
very, very, that way, I think, vindictive.
Well, here's what we're going to tell you, Banjan. There's something that some good news. Actually, if you're really stressed out with all this stuff, right? I was just talking to one of our allies at Pragnya who is going into AI and robotics as to how to make life a little more easier. And he was talking about how he's so disillusioned, and it's very interesting because he's trying to see how you can impact change, right, Altu Baba? So this particular thing that I found, a news item that came out, it's like synchronicity, right? Where for thousands of years, a traditional Chinese medicine has been used across China and Southeast Asia, ranging from acupuncture to herbal remedies, and its practices have evolved constantly over time.
Yeah, deer balls and also stuff, right? Deer testicles and all.
I have no idea about that.
Oh, you know that? The antelope testicles they have, and they have, the fish sperms people can eat.
I don't know about all that, but I'm going to tell you that now there's a high-tech update. Yeah, developed by a Singaporean startup, AI Treat, it seems. This is called Emma, and she's a robo-masseuse designed to give Tuina, a type of TCM body work similar to a deep tissue massage, which is a 21st century makeover. Using sensors and 3D vision to measure muscle stiffness, Emma, which stands for Expert Manipulative Massage Automation, identifies pressure points and delivers massages to patients to offer pain relief and relaxation.
Oh, nice. So you can have your own private masseuse. How much does it cost to have Emma?
I have no idea, Altuba, but they say that she's very highly flexible and customizable.
Well, she's flexible, customizable. Please don't think of anything else, because if you ask her to do something which is not inappropriate, you know what she'll say? I'm not going to do it.
That is funny. But they're saying that this could make low-cost massage treatments and consistent treatments part of the growing trend for preventative medicine. So, yes, Pratija, that is something exciting to know. And I'm going to leave you with this thought. Go research on this. Apparently, everybody's talking, Richard Branson went into space, right? But the FAA has just revealed
That he spaced out?
No, his the space jet, right? It veered off course. They didn't share that, did they? So if you want to catch up on that story, you have to go look it up. It's on
Took a
CNN.
really expensive flight.
Yeah. That's all we have time for this morning's Good Morning Bay. We'll be back tonight live at 5 on the Pam Pam Show with Ye Sham Mastani. Here is our Gane Ka Kida for the day. Altu Baba?
Alright, Baljan, so here you go. And I think one thing interesting about Richard Branson's flight, it was not a rocket flight.
Space jet, right?
It was a space. It was a fighter jet. The uniqueness about the whole thing is, rockets are separate. So I think what Amazon did was they went on a rocket.
It was a rocket-powered plane, Alta Baba.
It was a plane. So plane, and then they went to the layer on top of which is like atmosphere, and then they released the shuttle which went into space and came back supposedly of Richard Branson.
Yeah, they said that it was okay going up.
No, it was not a rocket. It was like a flight. It was a flight which was carrying his shuttle. And the shuttle was released in midair, in the air when they went there.
Right. So what they're saying is, during its descent, right, it completely veered off course.
Oh.
Yeah. This story actually came out after New York's Nicholas Schmidl reported that warning lights had shown up on the dashboard of Virgin Galactic Spaceship 2, signaling that the vehicle was on a wayward trajectory as the company's billionaire founder Richard Branson was riding in it during a minutes-long joyride/PR event that reached the edge of space.
Somebody's going to lose a job. Hey, Baljan, that was something which these people do.
Yeah.
Over here, if at all you want to go to space, the best thing you can do is get spaced out. Listen to our shows, Baljan, every day if possible.
Yeah.
And you'll feel like as though you're in space. And with this song, we're going to be signing off. Have fantastic Friday. We'll see you in the evening at 5 with Ye Sham Mastani.
सूरज देख रुक गया है, तेरे आगे झुक गया है। सूरज देख रुक गया है, तेरे आगे झुक गया है। जब कभी ऐसे कोई मस्ताना निकले है अपनी धुन में दीवाना।
Hi, this is Anushka Sharma. You're listening to me on Radio Day Hotties with Altu Baba and Faltu Rani, where entertainment keeps getting hotter.